Hello, wanted to check in with you. I think today's discussion is going to be about expectations and anxiety. So I alluded to it in the video from yesterday, and I'll probably talk about it in all my quick videos, but as we get closer and closer to the next poisoning, I'm getting more and more anxious about it. It almost paralyzes me. I don't want to get up and move because if I don't move, then the time won't go by and then I won't get closer, which makes absolutely no sense. Did you guys ever read the story? There's a monster at the end of this book with Grover or Elmo, depending on what age you are. But it's kind of that feeling like if I don't keep turning the pages, if I don't move, if I don't do anything, then time won't go on and we won't get to that day when they're going to start poisoning me again. So the expectations, the understanding of what's going to happen is good. Like this time I know it's going to be 2 weeks and not feeling well and so forth and so on. So I won't, kind of reach a despair level when I get to like day 7 or 8. I'm still feeling pretty miserable. But knowing what's coming is also producing a lot of anxiety and making me feel like I don't want to keep doing this. Like this is miserable. And I know from prior experience, the first time is the easiest. Like the next time is going to get worse because it's cumulative. And so I'm like, that time was not fun. And I don't really want to do that again. And I keep going back to, this is medicine. How is this medicine, this misery? But I understand it is medicine and we're killing the cancer, fingers crossed. I had somebody kind of simply say, oh, it's good that your hair is falling out because that means the chemotherapy is working. If your hair didn't fall out, then the chemotherapy isn't working in the rest of your body and it's not killing the cancer. And maybe that's true. I've been very fortunate from the perspective of this is my 4th time battling cancer. And so far I've had pretty good luck of, I guess we'll call it, success. Like the poison does work, unfortunately. So I do have that knowledge in my brain, but I'm still quite anxious about the fact that we're going to go through this and how miserable it's going to be. And I don't want to do it again and again and again and again and again. And it's really kind of a head game. So, I'm very prepared. Like I said, I've done the chemo. This is my 3rd chemotherapy. I've done it, I know what to expect. I know how my body's going to react more or less. And having completed the 1st round now, I know how I'm going to react to this set of poison because every poison is a little different. But, oh man, it's hard to get your brain to, how do I articulate this nicely? All right, we'll go this way. Like when you have a child, there are some challenges in that childbirth experience that your brain very happily puts to the backside and then you go, oh, I'd like to have another child, right? And then you get into that exercise, and you're like, oh no, I don't want to do that again, right? And then some time goes by and you're like, oh, it wouldn't be bad to have a kid, right? And it's the same kind of thing here, but the time only being 3 weeks is not long enough for me to forget the misery that I just went through. And so my brain doesn't have the time to blunt the experience enough to make me go, this seems like a good idea. It really does not seem like a good idea. Like I'm having to use the other part of my brain that's saying, you need this, you need to fight it, you got to kill the cancer. Therefore, you got to just suck it up. Put on your big girl panties and deal with it. And that's kind of a rough thing to do. And so I think I need to start thinking about how do I do that rather than focusing on stopping time, which generally doesn't work. I got to figure out how to use the part of my brain that knows that I need to do this to overwhelm the part of my brain that says, don't do that. Stop, don't do that. If that makes any sense to y'all. If you have any suggestions, I'd gladly hear them. But this is where I've been lately, really thinking. As I start to feel that much better, I just don't want to mislead you in any way. I do not feel like I felt before treatment or after treatment sometime, right? I still have, kind of a yucky taste in my mouth. My GI tract is not happy with me, despite, I bought sourdough bread the other day and yogurt and doing all those things, trying to help get everything in line. But this poison is stronger than my body, really, is what we're saying. And even with some added help. So I'm just trying to wrap my head around, I need to convince my brain that the brain part that says you got to do this because it's the right thing to do to keep yourself alive, versus the other one, which is, how can I survive this? This is totally miserable and nobody should have to live like this. Do you see this spot here? I'm just noticing it. This is lost hair. Normally this doesn't drop like that. It's all good. No bald spots yet, but I don't think it's much longer before this hair comes off. I think we'll get the buzz cuts out soon. We'll see. We'll see how tomorrow's shower goes, or the hair wash. I showered today, but I just didn't wash the hair because I was not one to deal with it. But lots came out just throughout the course of the day. Oh, and I think I mentioned this a little bit in the other videos, or at least in the descriptions, but in the course of the last 2 or 3 days, I've been doing a lot more like house chores. Emptying, loading the dishwasher, laundry. I stripped the bed, made the bed. I'm washing the sheets right now. Those are my favorite sheets, so I want to put them back on the bed before I get sick. Or maybe I should wait for the first part of being sick and then switch them when I'm starting to feel a little better. I don't know. I'll think about it. One way or the other. But doing, you know, basic chores, I think I'd like to spend a little bit of time cleaning, like decluttering, throwing stuff out, and maybe that will help distract my brain a little bit and move me in the right direction. I don't know. I gotta work on that. If anybody has any ideas, again, for me to overcome this brain thing that's going on, let me know. And I'll try not to be paralyzed by how desperate I am not to go back to the doctor on Tuesday and poisoned again. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. All right. I'll catch you guys a little later. Oh, while I'm here, let me do this. I'm going to probably share some summaries so you could see like my resting heart rate, how it's been improving. Actually, let me show you all 3 weeks, or maybe I can show you a month. I don't know. Let me see what the data shows. But you can see how it like shot up after the treatment and it's coming back down. So that's good. You can see my movement is getting a little better, although I probably dropped off today because I was a little paralyzed by this anxiety. And what other data do you have? The weight went up a little bit. I don't know where it is right now. I'll have to get back on the scale and check. But it's still down from the last treatment. I think I'm down at least 3 or 4 kilos. So that's not nothing. And that'll mean less poison. So I keep working on that. What other data can I give you? I'll look. If there's any other data I have accumulated, I can share that information with you. All right. That's all I got for now. I will talk to you in a little bit. All right. I don't really have anything to add. I thought I would come back today and talk to you guys about something new, but I think I listened to what I had to say yesterday and it was pretty good. So this is the hair after I had today's hair loss. I shared in today's video the hairball. Overall, the hair is coming out. Unclear to me yet when I'm going to do the buzzers, but try to stick with it. This is unlike the other times that I cut it, so I'm trying. Fingers crossed. Nothing else new for me. I guess you'll get to see right next to each other yesterday versus today on the hair loss. Give me some feedback. Think it's time to buzz or keep sticking it out, which is what I'm trying to do until I have obvious, what's the word I'm looking for? Bald spots. I was asking before, I was trying to feel the back of my head, which I can't see, obviously, but we'll see how it goes. I did some work on crocheting. That was fun. Guess I need to put together some projects for this week while I'm not feeling well. Think about that. All right. I will see you soon. Deciding if maybe this week I'll record a video on Wednesday versus Sunday because I'm worried I'm going to not be feeling very well by Sunday for your long form video, but we'll see. All right. In any case, love you guys. Thank you so much for coming along and listening to how I'm doing every day and thinking of me and helping me to get to the next day. Appreciate your support very much. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Thumbs up. Share if there's anybody you think would be helped by learning about what's going on here. If there's anything you'd like to hear about, either in my dailies or in these longer forms, let me know and I'll make sure to add them. Great talking with you. I'll talk to you next week. Fingers crossed for a good week.